Okay, you've probably heard that phrase before, it's a God thing. Sometimes that can be kind of almost casually used too often, but if you watch me on a regular basis, you know how I love to be out in the garden. I love plants. And I was at a local nursery not too long ago, and a woman walked up and we began talking, and she kind of recognized me, and one thing led to another. And she was looking for this really unusual plant. I had never heard of it, but I guess that was the God thing, because Michele Stepney is here this morning. I think she finds that almost everything is a God thing. Is that true to say about you?
I would say that, yes.
So you were at this nursery, and I think at the time you told me you were kind of in the process of writing this book that you've now launched?
Yes.
But what was the plant you were looking for?
It's false unicorn.
Have you ever heard of that? False unicorn. I never had. And you still haven't found it, right?
Right. No, I know where to get it. However, I wanted it to be in the already beginning stages of the root.
Okay, so I'm setting you up for that because I want people to understand why you were looking for it. Because this book that you've written that is called The Black Girl's Natural Remedy Book for the Female Reproductive System.
Yes.
You said to me, you said, I am that black girl.
I'm that black girl, but the book is for all women.
So this, what's it called again? Unicorn?
False unicorn.
False unicorn.
Yes.
Is something that you discovered can be beneficial in a healing process, right?
Yes, definitely, especially in the menopausal stage of a woman's cycle.
So like any woman who, you're a mother of 3.
Yes.
I think you get any women, I won't age you and I won't age me, but you get any women our ages into a room.
Yes.
And you've got some life to talk about.
Oh, definitely.
So you've seen a few things.
Yes.
And you've lived a few things.
Yes.
And you've begun to take those experiences you've had and realize that there's power in that.
Yes.
And that's kind of what's reflected in this book. I'm going to be quiet and let you talk.
Well, the book is an apothecary of natural remedies and, of course, spiritual remedies. And so it's a practical book of do-it-yourself home remedies, of being able to use herbal plants, medicines at home to overcome different stages of the reproductive cycle. And one of the things that is so important for us to understand is that our bodies want to hear positive things. I don't know about you, but have you ever heard about that experiment where you put a plant in front of like hardcore music, and then the plant will begin to listen to classical music and it'll grow.
It thrives on the classical.
It thrives on the classical.
Mm-hmm.
Your body is similar to that. What we say about ourselves, what we ingest in our bodies is a reflection of all of those good things to have good outcomes.
How is that really any different from saying, I'm adding to this,
Yes.
you know, the power of positive thinking. You
Yes.
are what you eat, you
Yes.
are what you think, your friendship group is so important, it all makes sense.
Yes.
It's just that the hecticness of life, I think, keeps a lot of us from finding the time to figure it out. So that's where your book is a really good guide. You begin this even in the teenage years. So if you're the mother or a grandmother of a 12 or 13-year-old girl, you can kind of turn to this for some food options and natural treatments for things, right?
Yes, that's right. And so when you look at the book, it has practical solutions for every stage of the menstrual cycle, from the teenage years up into menopause. So for instance, for teenagers, there are 3 stages, or even going into your 30s and 40s, of PMS that we didn't even know about. So
I bet our husbands do.
Yes, they do. I'm sure they do. But it actually will classify which, situation or issue you might be dealing with or going through. When it comes to yeast infections, when it comes to bacteria in the body, how to manage that and how to handle that. All of that is in there. And like you said, it is a guidebook, because then there are also prayers in there that speak specifically to whatever ailment that you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, that you can just open the book. You can read those prayers in the morning during meditation time, especially if you're going through menopause. I definitely had to speak life over my body during the menopause stage, and I literally would just ask God to grace me. And some of the prayers that I prayed are in that book, and then some of the treatments that I used are in there as well. And I also brought one of the treatments that I'm going to be launching on October the 5th the medicines that are in that book. So this way, if someone says, you know what, does she have anything that is already prepared, they can go on my website and they can do that as well.
So what is this that you brought?
This is called V-Joy, and this is one of actually my best sellers. I've already been, selling that particular product. But it is if you want to open it, it has everything you need for a nice, luxurious bath, but then it also has healing elements to it as well.
I'm afraid to tip it too far.
To tighten your vulva, to disinfect, remove bacteria and odor, as well as just leave your skin soft and supple.
Okay, Michele, you have to know that you might be unique in the world of being on television and so casually talking about these things. This is not easy for most people to talk about. I myself am blushing a little bit, I will admit, but your whole thing is that you don't want it to feel awkward. It's a natural thing.
It is a natural thing, and once we begin to understand our bodies, our temples, embrace the different stages that we go through education in the book, then we will feel comfortable about those different stages and know what to do. You just open the book and you can read through it and get an understanding of some of the different things that will help assist and aid your body so you can understand your body's rhythm.
I'm a big believer in the power of a word.
Yes.
So when a lot of us talk about prayer,
Yes.
and it looks different for different people,
Yes.
but sometimes if you really are concerned about something, you almost don't know what to pray.
Right.
You just, pray, help me. So the prayers that you have in here are really rather specific.
Yes.
So by having your words to then consider praying,
Yes.
that turns your mind into that thought, which in and of itself is empowering.
Yes, well, it's a guidebook. So once you begin to read the prayers and they're specific in nature, you will begin to pray it the way that works, the way that you would want to say it, how you reflect upon yourself and what you're going through.
It's very interesting. I'm bad about bringing her up, so forgive me, but my mom is 92.
Yes.
And whenever I talk to her on the phone and she's not feeling good, she'll say, she has this book and it's called Doctor, What Shall I Eat?
Yes.
She doesn't turn to medicine, she turns to that book to figure out what it is that she should be eating, and it works.
Yes.
It works for her.
It does work.
So where do we get your book?
You can get the book on barnesandnobles.com, also Amazon.com, and on October the 5th, it will be available on my website at beachypal.shop.
So that since you're here in Chattanooga and you do have these products, do people go through your website to purchase those, or can they talk to you on the phone and consult with you, or how does that work?
What I do is I have one-on-one consultations. I will also be at and I'm going to pull up my little note here.
You can do that.
The name of the church, because I also speak at women's conferences and I also go to different women events. And the name of the church here in town on October the 22nd is Stanley United Methodist Church. I will be there. They're having a women's conference that day, and I will be sharing my products as well as the books.
It's really a very interesting read, and to think I got to meet you under the beautiful Tennessee sky one day
Yes.
in the midst of a nursery. Good luck finding the false unicorn.
I know it. I wanted to, again, get at the root, but it will happen.
Her name is Michele Stepney. Here is the book. Again, it's called The Black Girl's Natural Remedy Book for the Female Reproductive System. Nice to see you.
Oh, same here. Thank you, Julie.